Your actions have changed the world.
Hello, and welcome back to Hitman. And in this series we will go back to where it all started, and this time round we will focus on completing as many of the challenges as we can on each and every one of the primary Hitman targets, with maybe a few interesting bonus kills on the way. Today we are in the Isle of Sgail for the Mistaken Identity Challenge, which entails eliminating Zoe Washington with an antique necklace. So for this challenge we will be starting as usual at the harbour, and we will be bringing with us some coins, a silenced pistol and our ever trusty lockpick. So with all of that said, let's get reacquainted with our target, shall we?
Zoe and Sophia prowl the world in search for ancient relics. With little regard for local culture or even human life, they have it coming.
So, right from the start and off the bat, the first thing we are going to do, as we will do with a number of these challenges, is we're going to head to the security office just by the main entrance, and we are going to take out the surveillance system. So straight up the stairs leading up to the main entrance, past the main entrance stairs, and just around the far side here we will find a drain pipe. We are going to ascend said drain pipe and up onto the landing above. And the door ahead of us, as you can see, is clearly labelled security. So we're going to hug the wall, open the door and aim our pistol at the surveillance system, and then close the door once we've shot it. So with the cameras now taken care of, we're going to make our way into the castle proper and around to the chapel area. Or more specifically under the chapel area, which would be the crypt. So round past the effigy and into the crypt area, we're going to grab this wrench. That's going to come in very handy. Make our way into the crypt, and in the crypt we will find two guards, one patrolling, one not. And if the patrolling guard has his back to us, we can then approach the sarcophagus, grab the assault rifle and then drop it on the floor on our way out. And when the patrolling guard returns, he will then spot that gun, which he has done. He will then collect it up and move to take it past us, at which point we can then subdue him from around the corner, render him unconscious and hide his body in the handily provided crate here. So once we've got him safely tucked up, we're going to take his outfit. We're also going to collect up his handgun, just in case. We may not need it, hopefully we won't, but we're going to take it with us just in case. And we're going to make our way up into the castle grounds, and we're going to make our way into the gallery area. Be aware of the two patrolling Archean guards who are just there off on our right. One of them is an enforcer, and he's an enforcer to most outfits, but not quite all. So we're going to make our way straight through the gallery and into the requisitions room. And in here we will find two warehouse workers. So we're going to collect up that item there. I don't know what it is, but there is a mace there as well. Either one will do. And we're going to throw it just to the left of the window, and when one of the workers goes in to investigate, we can then render the second worker unconscious with our wrench, and then throw our wrench at the inquisitive worker, and we're going to hide them behind the desk here. Now you'll notice that there is a crate available, but these two are not destined for it. That crate is reserved for a very special guest. So once we have both of the workers safely tucked up behind the crate, we're going to collect up our wrench, and then we're going to select our coins and set a coin trap. Now basically there is a guard and a Archean member just outside of the room, and we are going to open the door, throw our wrench against the wall, and that will attract the attention of one or either of them. And when the guard in this case comes in to investigate, he will spot the coins and he will go in to collect them. And when he does, we can then get behind him, render him unconscious, and then we're going to hide him with the two workers. We're going to collect up our wrench and his gun, leave the coins where they are, and we're going to hide him just around here. We're going to get quite a little pile of people here. Now the reason we're doing this is because this is where we're going to hopefully get to Zoe Washington, but anytime we try to distract her into this room, she will send somebody else, absolutely anybody else. So once we have the guard safely tucked away, we're just going to rinse and repeat the same procedure for the Archean member who was sitting on a bench outside the room. And once she comes in and starts collecting the coins, we can then once again get behind her, render her unconscious, and then hide her with all of her pals just behind the far desk here. So that's 4 people now unconscious in a pile. We will now try, and if we are quick, Zoe Washington and her Archean guard have just passed this door, so if we're quick enough, we might just be able to secure the Archean guard as well, which we have managed. You know, if your timing is a little slower than mine, you'll just have to wait for them to come back around, and you can then use the coin trick to try and secure Zoe, but she will send the guard instead as no one else is around. So once the guard arrives and collects up the coins, we can once again render him unconscious. We're going to hide him with all of the others behind the far desk, and we are now in position to take care of Zoe Washington. But first of all, we need the antique necklace, so we're going to collect up all of our coins and our wrench and the guard's gun, and we're going to make our way out of the requisitions room and into the bathroom just at the end of the corridor here, and we're going to reset our coin trap in here. So just a load of coins, one right by the door and 2 more leading into the room. And we're going to wait here for Blake Nathaniel, who is just arriving now. That's him there with the fancy cuffs, you can see. So he's going to make his way into the gallery and wander about briefly. Be aware that if he and Zoe Washington are in the same area at the same time, they may engage in a conversation and you'll have to wait them out. But luckily for me today, Blake Nathaniel is slightly ahead of Zoe Washington, so he will leave the area first. And what we're going to do is, when he comes past this bathroom, we're going to open the door and throw our wrench against the wall. Now this is somewhat tricky, as Blake Nathaniel does not always react well to having a wrench thrown against the wall or distractions in general. So here he comes now. We're going to open the door, throw the wrench against the wall, retrieve the wrench, and hopefully, let's open that door again. So it hasn't worked, so Blake Nathaniel is sending in a guard. So we're going to quickly gather up our coins, and when the guard comes in, we may as well render him unconscious and dump him in the crate while he's here. And it just means that the next time that Blake Nathaniel comes around, there is no one else nearby to send in or be distracted by the wrench. So we're gonna, once we have our guard safely tucked up, reset our coin trap. We're going to collect up the guard's gun. Now unfortunately that's two separate guns we're now carrying. So we're going to take these guns and deposit them in the recreation room, not the recreation room, the acquisition room, shall we call it, or reclamation room, I don't know what you want to call the room. And we're going to drop both of the guns with all of our unconscious victims. So once we've done that, we're going to make our way back to the bathroom, reselect our wrench, and wait for Blake Nathaniel to continue on around his routine and make his way back past this bathroom. This can take a couple of minutes as he does frequent the upstairs area where there is a security area, so to speak, which is looking over the gallery and keeping an eye on the antique necklace. But eventually Nathan, or Blake, will make his way back around, and once he has finished in the gallery area here, we can make our second attempt at luring him into the bathroom. Now the reason we're doing this is the antique necklace, as you can see, is surrounded by people, and Blake Nathaniel, or Nathan, is the only one who can retrieve it without causing any suspicion. Now there are a couple of ways we could do this, but Blake Nathaniel is the easiest one. So we have managed to secure his attention. He has now made his way into the bathroom, and we are just going to render him unconscious once he's past us. He does drop a number of items. We're going to collect up everything just to be neat and tidy. The only things we really need will be our coins and our wrench, but we'll take everything else as well, why not, as we're here. So we're going to deposit Blake into the crate provided and take his outfit. Now the antique necklace is secured by a security system, which we are now going to bypass. So we're going to make our way out of the bathroom around to our right, and on the wall we will find a fuse box, and if we turn off that fuse box, that will disable the security system, and we can then casually walk up to the antique necklace and pick it up in front of everyone.
The sparrow's got nothing on you.
So now we have everything we need. We're going to make our way back into the acquisitions room, and we're going to reset our coin trap one last time. So one coin in the corner of the room. Just make sure that the third coin you drop is directly opposite the door, and we're going to select our wrench, and we're now going to wait for Zoe Washington to re-emerge on her routine, and eventually she will come past this door. There she is now, and once she gets close we can open the door, throw our wrench against the wall one last time, and she has nobody else to send, so she will now finally come into the room and investigate herself. We're going to select the antique necklace, and we're just going to wait for her to move away from the door so that the door closes before we move in and garrote her with the necklace. This will probably also get you the Piano Man challenge.
Both targets down. Impressive work, 47. And now to confront the Constant.
So, as I mentioned earlier, the crate is reserved for a special guest, and the special guest has now arrived. We are going to deposit Zoe into the crate provided, and all that's left for us to do now is make good our escape. Now, the nearest exit is the helicopter, but it is risky to get to. You can try for it if you wish. I'm going to take the safe option, as this is a relatively decent disguise, and we can just run straight back to the harbour without encountering any enforcers at all. This is one of those very rare special disguises that has almost no enforcers to it, although we do still end up in trespassing areas. So there we go, that is the Mistaken Identity Challenge. I have been Anubis, and I will see you all in the next video.